Hey everyone, and welcome to our Facebook Live event. We're going to be talking to you today about the Talon One Service Center, our Talon Card, and parking and transportation. My name's Tiffany Hart, and you've met me before if you've been in any of our online orientations. So I'm super excited to talk to you today and get to introduce these lovely co-hosts with me today. So this is Crystal and Shanitra, and they are going to introduce themselves, but they work really closely with our Talon One Service Centers. They oversee those awesome operations, and I'll let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about how long they've been here.
Hi, I'm Crystal Caldwell, and I'm the manager of the Kennesaw campus Talon One Service Center, and I've been with Kennesaw State for 8 years.
Hi, and I'm Shanitra Ashby, and I am the manager of the Marietta campus Talon One Service Center, and I have been with KSU for 8 years.
So we've got some great resources for you today that we're going to talk to you about. I'm going to ask Crystal and Shanitra to share some great information for you guys at home. But first, I want to show you this great video. It really talks a little bit more about the Talon One Service Center and explains the benefits of this office and how Shanitra and Crystal and their students will serve you if you're a student or your student if you're a parent. So we'll go ahead and roll that video.
The Talon One Service Center is a customer service hub dedicated to answering your questions about campus services and its affiliated departments and entities. These include housing and residence life, parking and transportation, university dining, the KSU bookstore, and more. It's a great place to start if you have any campus services related questions. Talon One is staffed with friendly KSU students who are happy to assist you with your questions. These staff members are a great resource, especially for new students, because they can draw from their own experiences with plenty of KSU knowledge to share. The Talon One Service Center is also where you can find out more information about your Talon Card or have your Talon Card replaced if needed. Keep an eye out for an email from us to your KSU student email address with more information about how to obtain your first Talon Card. This is your official KSU ID and provides access to your residence hall and other buildings on campus. It also connects you to your meal plan and dining dollars, allows you to print on campus using K-Cash, provides access to the student recreation centers and equipment, as well as entry to KSU sporting events, among many other activities. Our Talon One team is here to serve you. You can call, email, or visit the Talon One Service Center located inside the Student Center on each campus. Our phone number is 470-578-8663, or you can email talon1@kennesaw.edu. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. We look forward to serving you during your time here. Welcome to the nest, and go Owls!
All right, so we feel like that video is a great highlight, great way to show you a little bit about how Talon One will serve students once they arrive to KSU. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Talon One, but Talon One fits into the larger campus services family. So if you've attended an online orientation already, you know that campus services is made up of dining and parking and Talon One and the bookstore and housing. And so if you've had any questions about any of those departments, or if you have those questions after today, the Talon One Service Center is the resource that we direct everyone to, just because they are so knowledgeable and can answer all of those campus services related questions. So my first question is for Crystal, and I want to ask, how does Talon One support students? What are some of the examples of questions that students might ask you guys?
Sure. Well, when I think of Talon One, and we want you guys to think of Talon One the same way, it's kind of like we're the concierge or the information desk for students. So any questions that any student has, regardless what it's about, we try to find an answer for them or direct them to the website or direct them to a phone extension or a person that can help them. It could be questions about their parking permit. It could be questions about their dining dollars. It could be questions about their bank mobile account, that maybe they have lost their access code or they've lost their password. So we just try to assist them. And the neat thing about it, Talon One, is we have students that actually are working both on the Marietta and the Kennesaw campus. So a lot of the students that you're talking to have experienced the same questions that the student is asking. So they can give you a firsthand experience of, oh, this is so easy to fix, you can just do this and this.
Yeah, they've been there before.
They've been there before, so they've been through it, or they can give you some tips on how to be prepared for this, like parking. You want to make sure you're watching your KSU email so you can get that parking email. So yeah.
Yeah. How would they, Shanitra, I'll ask you this question. How could they get in touch with Talon One? You know, do they just have to come into the office, or how can they call or email us?
Yes, they can come by our office and ask, just ask the front desk, or they can email us at talon1@kennesaw.edu, or they can give us a phone call at 470-578-T1.
So where are the Kennesaw and the Marietta offices located, so that when the year starts back off and students are kind of trying to figure out where everything is at on campus, how do they know where to find Talon One?
So the Kennesaw Talon One is located in the Student Center, and we're actually directly across from the bookstore. So as you're just coming into the main door there at the bookstore, we're right past the market, so the third door on the left. So
Yeah, easy to find. Just
very
look for
easy
the
to
bookstore.
find. Just look for the bookstore. If you can find the bookstore, you can find Talon One.
And what about Marietta?
On the Marietta campus, we are located in the Student Center on the second floor. We're kind of catty corner to the game room.
Yeah, and so the Talon One offices they're staffed, and they are responding to questions and emails right now over the phone and on email. Do you guys want to talk about how your offices are handling in-person kind of visits right now?
Sure. For us at Kennesaw, our office is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are doing appointments if that is your preferable method of service, or we are doing walk-ins also. So that's just entirely up to the customer. If they email us or call us, we'll be glad to set them up for an appointment, or they can just walk in.
Yeah.
And at the Marietta campus, we are pretty much going by appointments. We want to keep everyone safe, so we are scheduling appointments to keep a good social distance.
Yeah, and we've got staff that are ready to help. We want to, like Crystal and Shanitra both said, we want to keep our students safe and our families that might be coming to visit. So scheduling an appointment is going to be the best way to come into Talon One, and the only reason that you would need to come into Talon One is if you have a specific Talon Card related issue or question, and we're going to talk about the Talon Card in just a second. But that's really the only reason you would need to make an appointment, and so they would prefer that you set up that appointment just so we can help you and get you in and out as soon as possible. But they've both got awesome student assistants that are there to assist them as well. So you could be meeting with Crystal or Shanitra, or you could also be meeting with one of our great Talon One students that are there to assist you as well. So that's a good segue for us to talk about the Talon Card. So the Talon Card is something that all of our students that are attending orientation this summer have lots of questions about, because normally during an in-person orientation, students receive that Talon Card in person. They would check in and get their Talon Card as part of the day. But right now, things are a little different, and we're doing these virtual orientations. So I wanted us to talk through how this online photo submission process is working. So we've got this great new tool this year that we're trying out, and our students this summer are able to upload their own photo for their Talon Card. So this is similar to if you were going to the DMV to get your driver's license, or if you've gotten a passport photo taken before. Very similar to that, but the difference is they can actually take their photos at home this summer. So if you're a student and you've already attended orientation, you should have received an email from us recently within the last 24 hours prompting you to go ahead and sign up for your orientation, or go ahead and take your picture for your online photo submission tool. So Shanitra, do you want to talk about kind of how the process works and what those requirements are? Because you can't just take a selfie. You can't just, this isn't going on Instagram. This is a professional photo. So Shanitra, tell us what are some of those requirements related to that photo?
Okay, so the biggest thing is you need to find a background that is completely solid. Preferably, let's say a tan or beige background. You can even do a blue background, it'll work as well, but you definitely want it to be a solid background. When you take the picture, you don't want to have your hands or any other body parts in the picture with you. When you take your picture, you want to angle your picture where you don't have a lot of space above your head, so you want to angle yourself in the middle of the photo. In addition to that, you want to make sure you're looking straight at the camera. We can't have any pictures where you're looking off or to the side.
And they can't wear hats or anything like that as well, right?
Like no hats in the pictures. And then also, you don't want to do a complete body shot. You want to kind of get where your shoulders are and up.
Yeah, we've got those requirements are listed on the online photo submission website link that students receive in their emails. So if you can't remember all of these things or aren't really sure what those requirements are, just read those requirements before you take your picture. I also think it might be a good idea to get somebody else in your household to help you take your photo. Get mom or dad or maybe a sibling to help you take a photo so it's right the first time. And you'll get an email from us if it's not correct and if you need to retake that photo. But taking your photo online during the summer is going to be the best way for us to get your talent card to you really quickly. So if you are a residential student, you will get your talent card when you're coming through the move-in process. So we'll make it super easy for you as part of your move-in day experience. You will get your talent card as part of when you get your bedroom key. We're going to just do it all at one time, so it's super easy. If you're a commuter student, we will send you specific communication about how you can come and pick up your card before or after classes begin in the fall. So you don't need it right now, but the best advice we can give you right now is take your photo, upload your photo as soon as you can if you've received the email. If you're watching right now and you haven't attended an online orientation session, that's okay. We have more information coming to you soon, and you'll get that email after your orientation to upload your photo. So it's okay if you haven't gotten that email yet, it's coming. So just stay tuned for that. So let's talk about the talent card itself. You can use it at all kinds of places on campus. So Crystal, why don't you tell us kind of how the talent card works on campus, where students are going to be using it.
Okay, so your talent card is essentially your ID card. It's, as Tiffany mentioned before, it's going to give you access to get into your dorm room.
Yep.
You're going to tap it when you go in for dining. If you need to use printers all over campus, then you're going to tap it there.
Yep.
It has a bar for K-Cash, so if you're needing to purchase something using your K-Cash account, then you would use that card for that also. During the summer classes, the professors are having you use that talent card just when you're testing. So a lot of professors ask for that card when you're testing.
You have to show it.
You have to
if
show it.
If you're taking an online test that's videotaping
Even more
you.
important, your photo looks just like you. So keep that in mind when you're uploading your photo.
And you'll use it at the rec center.
Yeah, you use it at the rec center to get in the rec center. And there's also some perks off campus too that you can use your card for, so some student discounts.
Yeah, and football games, this is how students traditionally get into football games, and if you're attending just a student event on campus and they've got free food or free t-shirts or something that they're giving away, most of the time they're going to want you to use your talent card to check into that event. So it's going to be your, I say on orientation days, I say it's kind of your key to KSU. It's going to be super important that you get that card, and that's why you should upload your photo for that online photo submission for your talent card as soon as possible. How much does the card cost, Shanitra? Is it free?
The first Talent One card is $14 for your first one. Any replacement after that is $25.
And where do they pay for that card? Do they pay you when they come and get their card in the office?
No, you don't have to pay when you pick up your card. What we do is we charge your banner account, and then you would pay through AliExpress.
So if they lose their talent card, what does the process for replacing their card look like? Either of you.
Yeah, well, that's really, they can either email Talent One or call Talent One, and we can set you up for an appointment, and then you come in and we can, run you a new card.
And
or either
Shanitra
they
mentioned,
can just, they can, walk in.
and the card to replace it is $25, right?
$25,
Yeah,
yes.
so the first card's $14, but then if you lose it, you're gonna have to pay $25. So make sure you buy a lanyard or something to keep up with it or keep it in your wallet so that you don't have to pay that $25 replacement fee. And then my last kind of question slash kind of advice about the talent card just relates to security. So do either of you want to touch on kind of the importance of not sharing your talent card and kind of why we're super strict about that at KSU?
Sure. Okay, so it is very important not to share your talent card because that's your access to the campus. And each person has their own unique access. If you're a student assistant, that's access to your job and to other information. If you have financial aid and you have book credits, that's on your ID card. So that's your identity tied to that card. So you definitely don't want to share it with anyone.
Yeah, and same for the residence halls. So I think we touched on this in our last live event with Chris and Catherine for the housing section, but if you share your Talon card for somebody in housing, you're basically giving them access to your whole building and your hallway and maybe your apartment, and you don't want to share that kind of access. So it's super important that your Talon card stays with you at all times and you're not sharing that or handing that off to somebody. It's important that you keep up with that on your own. So, so the Talon card is super important. I think we covered it, but if you have tuned in the last couple of minutes and you have questions about the Talon card, the best advice we have for you is to visit our Talon card website, taloncard.kennesaw.edu, and that will give you more information about the Talon card specifics, but be checking your email for that online photo submission link so that you can upload your photo after you've attended online orientation. So now we're going to transition and we're going to talk a little bit about parking and transportation. And you may be watching and have questions about how parking works at KSU. So Crystal and Shanitra are going to help me explain kind of the perks of parking and what the options are, and kind of the benefits of our parking system across both campuses. So who wants to start us off with talking about parking at KSU?
Well, parking at KSU, of course, everybody has to have a parking permit, even faculty and staff.
If you bring a car to campus,
if you bring a car to campus, you have to have a parking permit.
Yep.
And everything goes through the parking portal, so you're able to create an account on the parking portal. You're able to add your vehicle. You can add up to 5 vehicles, I believe. And when you're, so if you drive, I drive multiple vehicles to work, so I have 2 on there, which is great. And we use a virtual license plate system, so parking uses that. You don't have to have a physical decal on your car.
Yeah, you don't have to come to the office.
You don't have to come to the office, get a sticker. You don't have to do anything like that. So they just use a virtual recognition for when you park. They just scan your license plate, and then they know if you're in the right parking area. So.
And the perks of that, of the 5-car thing that you mentioned, is that if you are sharing a car with a sibling or a family member, you can have those cars linked on your account as long as there are no other cars, as long as that car is only linked to you. There's no one else that's coming to campus that could have that car as well on their permit. But the benefit of that is that you don't have to get a visitor tag or anything like that. You can just have those cars registered on your account, and you can park on either campus too. So Shanitra, will you talk about how students can park on both campuses with their parking decals? Or with their parking permits, not decals, because we don't have those.
Yes, sure. So with your parking permit, you are able to park on either one of the campuses. So if you're visiting Marietta, you can go over, if you take classes at Kennesaw and you're going to Marietta for some reason, you can park there. The only thing is you have to park in your assigned area if you're parking at the other campus.
Yeah, so, and the corresponding parking lots for those campuses are on our parking website. So if you've already registered for classes and you're kind of wondering, I'm not sure which parking permit option to get, you can actually look at both campuses' parking maps and see exactly where, for example, your economy parking lot might be, if you're in economy parking, or if you're a residential student and you'll be parking on both campuses. You can look at the parking maps online to see kind of where you're going to be parking in relation to where your classes will be on campus. So our parking maps are also color coded, so it is generally pretty easy to understand. Oh, I'm parking in the blue lot here, and then you just look at the other campus and you look for that same blue lot. And that's kind of how I tell people to search for a parking permit that's going to be best for you. Our first year parking permits for our first year students are, there are 3 options. And so we've gotten some questions about that recently, so I just want to touch on that for you as well. So our parking options for first year students are residential, because most of our first year students, a good majority of them, will be living on campus. But the other 2 options, if they're not living on campus, are economy and shuttle. And so the shuttle lot it's free. You still have to register for a parking permit, but that means that you'll park in a lot that's convenient to campus, and you'll ride our big owl bus to campus, or some of the shuttle lots are close enough that you could choose to walk. And then our economy parking lots are also close to campus, close enough to walk, a little further away from campus, so you just want to factor that in when you're registering for your classes. But those are the 3 main parking options for first-year students. And then as you continue at KSU, those options will change. So we have premium parking options and standard parking options once you become a sophomore and a junior and so on. So just be mindful of those parking options when you are purchasing your parking permit. And one thing we forgot to add is that you can purchase a parking permit 24 hours after you've registered for classes. So if you've already attended online orientation and registered for your classes, there's nothing stopping you from doing this today. You could go and purchase your parking permit today if you wanted to. So that's a little bit about parking, and now we're going to talk about transportation. So the Big Owl bus is really popular at KSU. Do either of you want to talk about the Big Owl bus and kind of how that process works for students that are wanting to get around on campus?
Sure.
Yeah.
So with our Big Owl bus system, we have several different routes. There is a route that just goes around each campus, as well as there's also a route that goes between the 2 campuses. Then in addition to that, we also have some shuttle routes that go to the local apartment complexes close by the campus, as well as there's also a shopping route. Did I forget any other routes you can think of, Crystal?
No, I think you touched on it, but there's off-campus housing, on-campus housing, and a lot of parents have that question if their students can be living off-campus. We have agreements with some of our off-campus housing properties, so the bus will go to some of those as well.
And we do shuttle on football game days also.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We don't know what game days look like
Don't know what they look like,
for
but
the
we
fall,
do shuttle.
but if fans are allowed to attend those,
Sure.
we will bus them there on our game day route. So how can they find out more information about the bus, or kind of where it's going to be, where the stops are? What's a great way for them to find that out?
There's actually an app that you can download. You just go to your app store. The app is called Translock. Sorry, I'm always
Translock.
Yes.
LOC.
Yes. So it's really easy, and it's spelled out TRANSLOC. So that's the word I'm trying to pronounce. And you can download that app, and it actually shows in real time where the bus is. So you know how long of a wait you have before the bus that you're waiting for is going to come.
There's also some monitors throughout campus too that has that same view of the bus in real time. So
Yeah, it'll tell you how long you're going to be waiting for the next bus, or how long the route is taking to get to you. So it's great for time management, especially for our new students that are going to be navigating, maybe taking classes on both campuses. What I like to tell students is to budget about a half hour to get between campuses if you are going to be riding between both campuses. The express lane has made the travel time for the Big Owl bus between the campuses cut down really low, like takes 12 to 15 minutes to get between campuses now. But just in case there's traffic, we always encourage students to add that 30-minute budget in for their classes. But I think personally the Big Owl bus makes taking classes on both campuses really easy, because you don't have to worry about walking back to your car and driving to your class and finding parking and then getting to your class on time. It really cuts down a lot of that so that you can get to your classes faster. So ride the Big Owl bus. We encourage you to. And the cost for the Big Owl bus, we didn't mention this, but do one of you want to talk about how it's in their fees?
yes,
In their
it's
fee structure?
included in your student fees.
Yep.
That's part of what's included in your student fees.
It's one of
just
your
for-
perks.
It's one of your perks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, great. Okay, and there's another way that you can also travel on campus if you are, if you want to ride the bus, but maybe the bus isn't running when you need it to, or you need to get off campus and you don't have your car. The Zip Car service is actually something we offer on both campuses, and our students can download the Zip Car app, and it allows you to rent one of our rental cars on both campuses. There's a gas card in there. It's pretty cool. There's a gas card in there so you can fill up the car with gas if it needs it, but it's a great way for students to get around campus if they need to get off campus somewhere that the bus doesn't go, or if they need to go shopping or something and the bus isn't running that day. So
It's like your own Uber service,
yeah,
basically.
that you can drive as long as you have a driver's license and you're over the age of 18, you can use Zipcar. I think it's $8 an hour, but there's more information about that on our website. So visit the Zipcar website for that. So that's kind of anything else about parking or Talon One or the Talon Card we should touch on before we open it up for questions?
I think that's it.
Okay, well now we will be taking questions from the audience, so thank you all for commenting and engaging with us. We are looking forward to answering your questions.
Awesome. So my name is Alex Lyon. I am the Assistant Director of Orientation and Transition Programs, and we do have a few questions, so I'm going to ask the group. So first off, what is K-Cash? We mentioned that.
Yeah. Who wants to
Let you
take it?
touch on that.
Okay, so you're actually able to load money onto your Talon card, and you can use that money to purchase different items. You can go to the dining halls, you can purchase your books at the bookstore. So basically, K-Cash is just money that you can use on campus. What you would do is you would load the money online onto your card using a debit or credit card, and again, you can use it on campus. The one great thing about K-Cash is you can just use it just like cash at any of the locations on campus.
Anywhere on campus, restaurants on campus. If you wanted to go to the dining hall, but you don't have dining dollars or a meal plan, you can use K-Cash for that. It's a great resource for parents that want to provide their students with an allowance. So we've had a lot of parents that want to give their student money and want to make sure that it goes to things on campus. And so K-Cash is a great way for parents to do that because you know that that can only be spent on campus, at on-campus restaurants or in the bookstore or on school supplies. Yeah.
Great. Another question about cards. So I was visiting campus and I saw charging or activation stations. What is that?
Oh, I think it's
Like hotspots,
hotspots. You want to talk
maybe?
about hotspots?
So at the majority of all the entrances on campus to the majority of the buildings, there's a small little square that's about 4 inches by 4 inches. And that's just, you can tap your card there and it will either give you a red light or a green light. So if you, let's say you're a medical student and you've got to go do some labs. So now Door Access has given you access to a specific lab. So instead of you having to make a trip to Talon 1, having your card redone and everything, the access is just granted and you just have to tap it on that access point, that hotspot, and then you can go into that lab.
And for residential students, this is great because when you live on campus, this is really, the hotspots are how we keep our campus really safe. So your Talon card has access loaded on it. Let's say you're a residential student living in the suites. You have access to your individual apartment on your Talon card, but it expires every 7 days. And the reason that happens is because if you lose your card, we don't want someone that picks up your card to have access to our buildings and our communities. So in an effort to keep it safe, they expire. So students have to touch that hotspot every 7 days to upload their Talon card, basically just to keep it updated so that your access stays fresh. So you have to do that every 7 days, but like Crystal said, outside of most buildings, there are hotspots there. So it's super convenient for you to update your card every 7 days.
Great. So the next questions are about parking. So where is the parking portal located for me to buy a pass?
This one's
Good.
easy.
Yeah.
Parking portal.
Parking portal.
Parkingportal.kennesaw.edu.
Awesome.
Yeah, but for more information about parking, if you don't want to go straight to the portal and you have questions about like the parking maps I mentioned or anything, parking.kennesaw.edu will also help you get there.
Next question, if I am a residential student, so say I'm at the suites, is my parking guaranteed that I will get a spot or is it first come, first serve?
Yeah, we have plenty of residential parking. So if you live in the suites, our north parking deck is the parking lot that you'll be parking in, and we have plenty of parking there for all of our residential students on the north side of the Kennesaw campus. Yeah.
We have a couple upperclassmen who are joining us. So when can sophomores or juniors purchase their parking passes? Is that open at any time?
Yeah, I think that opens. Do you guys know this answer?
July 31st?
I think
That's
it's
right.
July 31st.
July
yeah.
31st.
July 31st. Great.
Yeah. So if you're currently enrolled and you're even in summer classes, that will switch over
Switch over.
on July 31st. So you have another month to wait.
We do have a few more parking questions for you. So should my parents get a parking pass with me or when they visit me, or is there guest parking on campus?
There is visitor lots on campus. They're a paid visitor lot. The first 30 minutes is free, and then it's so much for increments after that. And they can go, once again, go to the parking.kennesaw.edu website, and they can look at the campus maps for Marietta and Kennesaw, and it will list all the visitor parking.
Great.
Yeah, to make it super easy to find.
And then what if I choose to bring a car in the middle of the semester? Is this just once a semester that I register, or can I change my permit?
You can change it any time. You can also remove a vehicle or add a vehicle at any time.
Yeah, so you don't have to purchase one right now. So if you don't have a car yet, I know we'll have some new students that might be getting a car but don't have it when they first come to campus. And so you can wait to purchase that until later on in the semester when you have that car if you want.
Awesome. And then next questions are about the Big Owl bus and transportation. So do you use your Talon One card to get on the bus?
No, you do not.
You do not have to have, I mean, they typically don't ask for it, so.
It's
but
always
yeah,
good to
it's
have your
always
Talon
good
card
to have
on
it.
you.
Yeah.
As a student, it's always good to have it with you because you're going to be using it for a lot of different things, and it's going to be required for you to get into the dining halls and the residence halls. So you don't have to show your Talon card when you first get on the bus, but it's a good idea for you to have it on your person at all times.
So if I have a guest coming with me and say we want to go shopping at one of the shops that the Talon, like the Big Owl bus will go to, do they have to show anything to get on the bus with me, or they just ride with me?
They can just ride with you.
Okay.
We have guests come to campus as well on game days as well. So
Great,
for
sure.
football, if they are attending a football game and they're parking in one of our shuttle lots, they can ride the game day shuttle to the games as well. So that's okay for off-campus visitors as long as they are with a KSU student. And then you are, as the student, liable for that guest. So just make sure that they're following all of our rules on the bus just to keep everybody safe.
Awesome. So those are all of our questions on the Facebook page. Last question that I just kind of had, I know you mentioned appointments. Just do we want to reiterate that a little bit? So if a student
Sure.
is trying to come to campus, some stuff is open, some places are not. How can they reach out to you if they want to come to campus and see you in person?
Yeah, Crystal, do you want to take that one?
To actually come and get a Talon card, or, okay.
If they wanted to, is that an option, or would you rather do everything virtually?
No, I mean, they're more than welcome. They can email talon1@kennesaw.edu, or either they can call, I think Shanitra gave that number, 470-578-T1-8663. So they can call or email, and we'll be glad to set up a time that's convenient for them to come to campus.
We do encourage them to schedule an appointment for anything that's not Talon card related. So if they are asking, if you're a commuter student and you just want to come and get your Talon card, we will send you additional information about how to get your Talon card. That won't be just setting up an appointment to come to campus, but
Right.
setting up an appointment is really for students that have unique questions about their Talon card or might have something they need to talk to us about in person.
And then just one final question before we scoot. So if a student loses, say they're a residential student and they lose their card on the weekend or at night when the office is not open, how do they get into their residence hall?
Yeah, so we have RAs, great question. We have RAs and on-call staff that are in the housing areas 24/7, 365 days a year. So even though most of the people on campus are gone for winter break or for fall break, our students are still here and on call to help you in your lockout. So all you'll have to do is call the RA on-call phone number for your community, and that will be provided to you on move-in day. You call the RA and they will come and let you in. And there are lockout fees, so just be mindful that you're not getting locked out all the time or those costs will rack up. But that the RAs are there to let you in just in case you do get locked out on the weekends.
Great. And does K-Cash roll over between semesters, or does it expire?
No, your
so that-
K-Cash is yours for the length of the time that you're at KSU. So anything else to add on that? Yeah, K-Cash doesn't expire, and it continues with you throughout your time at KSU.
Great.
All right, so thank you guys so much for your questions. Those were great. We enjoyed answering them. Talon One is just a great resource for you. Crystal, Shanitra, and their students are dedicated to serving you guys, to parents and students. Whatever questions you have, we're here to help. So be sure to contact us if you have those questions. Call us, email us. We want to help you. And then a couple more things I want to touch on. This is being recorded, so after today, you can actually visit this video again. So if we ask questions that you want to revisit, we'll have this video on our website. It's also available on Facebook, so you can reference it or send it to your student, maybe if your student wasn't able to view with us today. And we have some upcoming live events that I also want to talk about so that you can come back and ask us more of your campus services related questions. So on July 8th, we have the bookstore event. That's 1 week away from today. We'll be right back here. Me and my friend Delshawn will be here to talk about textbooks and technology and KSU gear so that you're getting ready for back to school and you have everything you need for fall classes. And then we've got a move-in event coming up on July 20th. So if you're living on campus and you have move-in questions, that Facebook Live event is going to be very informative. We finally have a lot of details about move-in that we haven't been able to share, but we're finally able to share those. So tune in on July 20th so that you can learn more about move-in and kind of what you need to do to prepare. And then we also have a dining live event on July 29th where we'll be talking about all of our meal plan options, our dining dollars, our different meal entries, and then just telling, we know a lot of our families have concerns about what fall service looks like in the dining halls. And so that live event will be talking through how we're implementing social distancing and how we'll be keeping students safe that are dining with us this fall. So we hope you'll tune into those. And so anyway, the orientation live schedule is on the website. It's a great resource. There are some other great campus partners that will also be presenting soon. I know Parent Family has an event coming up as well, so they've got a wealth of knowledge as well. So tune into these live events. We love engaging with you guys, and I want to thank Crystal and Shanitra for being great co-hosts with me today. Yeah, so thanks you guys. You guys have a good one. Go Owls. Hooty hoo.